What even is this? How's anyone supposed to get through all this? I'm sure we've all heard the name Kingdom Hearts before. That long-running series where Final Fantasy meets Disney, but did you know that it once had a music game? Hello everyone, my name's Argonaut, and today we're going to be talking about Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, the unique action rhythm game that Square Enix released back in 2020, including its development history, story, yes, there actually is a story to it, and gameplay, as well as my thoughts on it. But, before all of that, if you like this video and want to see more like it, feel free to click that subscribe button to keep up with me. I'd really appreciate it. And with that little bit of shameless promotion out the way, on with the video. Way back in 2015, around the time Theatrhythm Dragon Quest was released, the idea for a Theatrhythm Kingdom Hearts game was pitched to series director Tetsuya Nomura, who rejected the idea at the time. Disney would later on revisit the idea, and at this point in time, Nomura agreed that it aligned with the interests for the series, and so, development began. For the development of Melody of Memory, Square Enix brought in the Japanese development company Indies Zero to actually create the game, with members of the Kingdom Hearts 3 development team supervising them, since Melody of Memory was in development at the same time as Kingdom Hearts 3. Other projects that Indie Zero have worked on before are pretty much all the other Theatrhythm games, so this wasn't exactly their first rodeo with a project like this. With a bit of a delay due to COVID, the game was announced by Square Enix on June 16th of 2020, and was released for the consoles at the time in Japan on November 11th of that same year, and worldwide 2 days later on November 13th, with a version coming to PC on March 30th of 2021. Now, I am a massive Kingdom Hearts fan, and I've been following the game since I was a kid when they first came out, and even bought multiple different consoles for the sole reason of playing the games. Especially since if you were a Kingdom Hearts fan, you know that every game is canon. But, when it came to Memory of Melody, I played a demo for it at the time and didn't see much of a point to buying it. Especially since it had a $60 price tag for what seemed to me like a basic music game. I told myself I'd get it when the price went down and pretty much forgot all about this game up until about a month ago, when I saw it on sale on Amazon for 15 bucks, which was by far a perfect price for me. The game actually does have a story. Originally, I thought it was just going to be almost like an arcade-type game, where you just pick songs from a track list, but these games' stories are never easy to explain, so I'll try to do my best here. The game basically throws you right into the mix upon startup, with you playing the song simple and clean, with the background cinematic, without telling you any of its controls. Then afterwards, you start the World Tour, which is pretty much just you playing songs from all the worlds that you go to throughout all the Kingdom Hearts games. Whenever you get to certain points, you'll get a cutscene where Kairi's the one recounting Sora's adventures, and everything him and the other Keyblade wielders have been through. That's pretty much about 90% of the game. But once you get through all of the songs of Kingdom Hearts 3, you start playing as Kairi, as she heads to the final world. We're then shown a flashback with Kairi as a kid being captured by Xehanort and put in a space pod, really Superman style, where he tells her that their world and everyone she knows is about to be swallowed by darkness, and if she's a Princess of Heart, her power will eventually lead her to a Keyblade wielder, which would hopefully lead him to the wielder's world so that their world can be saved. He then goes on to say that if she ends up in a world that's neither light nor darkness, then her task would be far from easy, and if that happens, they failed. After exploring the final world a little bit further, Kairi sees a man in black robes. This turns out to be old Xehanort, who gives us a bunch of exposition, letting us know that everything that's been happening has been Kairi using her memories of Sora and diving into her own heart to look for a clue to his whereabouts, since at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora vanished. Even the world that they're in is just made up from Kairi's memories. So, not only does this game have a story, but it's also canon, and the first game that takes place after Kingdom Hearts 3. But Xehanort continues and tells Kairi that there's nothing for her to find here, and that the memories that contain the answers she's looking for are long gone. Throughout this whole exposition scene, we're actually given a cool fight scene with Kairi and Xehanort, since Kairi decided, whether this was an illusion of him or not, he's responsible for everything that's gone wrong for her and Sora and just couldn't let him walk away. But just when Kairi's about to lose the fight, Sora's Keyblade appears in her hand, and using the memories that she had of Sora and her connection to Sora's heart, Kairi turns into Sora. To which Xehanort responds saying, "Your voice can't reach us now, I'm certain of where your heart is." Okay. Quick sidebar here. Come on, Square Enix. Kairi is both a princess of heart and a Keyblade wielder, and even in her own literal dreams, she can't win? Like, it's already bad enough what they did to her in Kingdom Hearts 3? But I digress. After Sora beats Xehanort, he turns back into Kairi, and Xehanort tells her the answer to where Sora is pretty much what he said to her as a child. If you end up in a land that's neither light nor darkness, your task will be far from easy. Kairi then wakes up in Ansem's lab and informs him of what happened. Unfortunately, him nor the other researchers are able to figure it out, but as they're trying to figure it out, Riku walks into the lab with his own clue for finding Sora. But before they can exchange the information, the fairy godmother from Cinderella appears at Yensid's request. She tells them that they need 3 keys to finding out where Sora went. Riku's dreams, which are apparently about a large city with tall buildings, Kairi's memories, that there's another world that exists that's neither darkness nor light, and someone else who the fairy godmother would help them meet. With that, they're brought to the final world. But, you know, the real one, not the one in Kairi's memories. Now, the final world is a place where people whose hearts and bodies were destroyed go to until their hearts are ready to move on. And there, they meet someone whose heart is actually from that other world. And through her, we find out that Sora went to a place called Quadratum. Using the power of waking, Riku is able to open a portal to Quadratum and heads through to see if he can find Sora. And I guess this would explain why we see Riku in the secret ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. Kairi wants to go with Riku, but decides to continue her training, and also informs Mickey, Donald, and Goofy of what they've learned. Post-credits, Kairi tells Yensid and the others everything that happened, and Yensid has Donald and Goofy tell the other Keyblade wielders that were looking for Sora about what they've discovered. And Yensid tasks Mickey with learning more about the ancient Keyblade Masters and the other world by going to the place where Xehanort was trained. Scala ad Scala
ad Caelum.
There's not much to say for this section. In Melody of Memory, a lot of the character models were clearly reused from Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5, and it shows. Not like there's any problems with that, though. I mean, it's a music game. No one's going to be screaming about it. And for the music of the game, from each world of the previous Kingdom Hearts games, you typically get 2 songs. A field theme for that world, along with the battle theme. You also, of course, get boss music too. Overall, the game has a total of 140 tracks that you can play. And Square Enix used the Unity engine to develop the game, the same engine that they used for Theatrhythm Final Fantasy All-Star Carnival. Wow, that was a mouthful. The gameplay for Melody of Memory is pretty straightforward. For each song, you can pick 3 difficulties: beginner, standard, or proud. And the notes that you need to hit are represented by enemies. And whenever you successfully hit a note, Sora or someone in his party will attack them. You hit most of the notes with either the L1, R1, or X buttons. And if you see red, you need to make Sora jump over it with the circle button. And if you see green, you need to hold the circle button to make Sora glide and follow the trail of notes, and try to get all of them. The game also gives you items that you can use throughout the songs. Potions and high potions to give you health back if your HP ever falls low. A summoning item to get Mickey to come and help you with hitting notes, and giving you a higher score. An EXP item that increases how much experience you get for beating a song. And an item that increases the drop rate of other items and materials you get for beating songs. Every now and again, you'll occasionally have what the game calls a boss encounter, where instead of the notes coming straight at you from a 3D perspective, the notes will kinda come at you from a 2D perspective, while Sora and his parties are actively fighting a boss in the background, with his performance being decided on how well you hit the notes. As fun as these are, though, they're few and far between, with the game only having 4 of them, unfortunately. Also, with every song, you'll have 3 challenges that you're supposed to accomplish. These are pretty simple, like earn X amount of points, or don't miss certain notes, or maintain a streak of notes on a specified difficulty. Once you accomplish a challenge, you'll get tokens. Once you get enough tokens, you're able to unlock a doorway that lets you move on further into the world tour. The game also lets you choose between 4 different parties. You can go Team Classic with Sora, Donald, and Goofy, Team Days with Roxas, Xion, and Axel, Team Birth by Sleep with Ventus, Aqua, and Terra, and Team 3D with Riku and a couple of Dream Eaters from Dream Drop. While I actually find it really cool that they let you switch up your parties like this, I can't help but wish that they let you choose which Sora we had between his Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, and Dream Drop design. Also, whenever you go to some worlds, the Disney characters from that world will end up joining your party. Although, unfortunately, this only seems to be a one-time thing, or it happens at random. It's more or less out of the player's control. Playing through different songs will also level up your teams. At first, I thought the level ups were pointless and that this was just like a visual gimmick, but as I kept playing, I came to realize, as you level up your party, you take less damage for missing a note, and there's also a higher chance that you can stun an enemy. And if you miss a note with a stunned enemy, you don't take damage at all. Along with the World Tour mode, there actually is a track selection where you're able to play all the songs that you've unlocked in World Tour mode. They also actually have a versus mode as well, where you can go up against the AI to see who can get the higher score, and they also even had an online mode. Of course, when I tried it though, the online was more dead than my social life, and I couldn't find any opponents. There's also even a co-op mode where you work together with a friend to get through songs, but as I don't have any friends, I wasn't able to try it. I'm so lonely. Lastly, there's a museum mode where you can keep track of all the things that you unlock during the game. The cutscenes, a jukebox where you can freely play any of the songs that you've unlocked, records showing your progress with everything during the game, and this collection of artwork cards that you unlock as you play. For this part, I'm actually having a hard time finding any data on how this game did after it was released, not counting its first week in Japan, and personally, between this game's release date and now, I've heard pretty much nobody talking about it like that. Oh, but apparently a lot of its review scores were roughly about an 8 out of 10, so there's that. Since the game's release, there's been no DLC for it. Here are my personal pros and cons to it. It's pretty cool that you can level up your characters as you play through the songs. I've never heard of an action rhythm game before, but Square Enix did a pretty good job at making this one. And it does make you feel more inclined to play and more accomplished whenever you beat songs and see your characters level up and whatnot. They let you play as multiple party members, which is also pretty cool. They really could have just forced you to play as Sora, Donald, and Goofy the whole time, but the fact that they give you the option to play as any of the other teams, if you have a preference, is pretty cool. They also added an online and co-op mode when they didn't have to. Now, the online mode might be dead, but, I mean, the fact that they went out of their way to add that is still pretty cool. They could have just left it with World Tour mode and a local co-op or a local versus mode. Now, here are the cons that I had for this game. You can't always have a Disney guest with you. I would like it way more if you could actually choose for the certain worlds when you want to have a Disney guest appear with you, instead of having it at random. I mean, look at Stitch. I would much rather have Stitch with me than Donald or Goofy. Look how adorable he is. You have to play through about 8 hours of the World Tour to get to that ending that I talked to you about earlier. I mean, it just feels like you're replaying the same, like, all the same games and all the same songs and hearing all the same story that you probably already know well at this point. I'm so tired of Kingdom Hearts games just making you replay levels and having to redo things from other games. It's been overdone since Chain of Memories. Luckily, I was just playing this one fully for fun and wasn't even expecting any type of story content in it. And this isn't a real con or anything, it's just a personal thing. I wish that you could use different forms of Sora rather than just his Kingdom Hearts 1 outfit. Like, if they gave you the option to swap his outfits, or, you know, use his Kingdom Hearts 2 or 3 outfit, that really would have made me love the game all the more. But again, this isn't really a big complaint. Some of the challenges required you to play on beginner mode while you were far in the game. Like, for example, this song. This is maybe about 3 or 4 hours in the game. By this point, you know the controls. Standard mode is good enough. But to be forced to go back to beginner mode with its slow pacing just to complete the challenge, it's kind of annoying. Like, a game should push you to do harder challenges as you go, not an easy one. You know, especially not this far in, well after you adapted to the controls. And that's the story of one of the most forgettable Kingdom Hearts games. In conclusion, Melody of Memory was a fun rhythm game for what it was. I don't have any real problems with it, and I think it's fun to play if you don't really want to commit yourself to any other games. Although, I think Square Enix did way too much by charging $60 for it. I think a price of about $40 would have been a better call. That, and I still can't believe that this game was canon, and helped set up the story a little bit more for Kingdom Hearts 4. But, being a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, I should have expected that. I mean, the freaking cell phone games are canon. So, what did you think of my thoughts on Memory of Melody? Did you agree with them? Did you disagree? If you played it, what's your experience with the game? Let me know in the comment section down below, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time!